Hello?
It's been a great year for Stephen King adaptations. We were treated to the It remake. Now we have Gerald's Game, directed by Mike Flanagan, who I'm going to talk about really soon. Don't go anywhere. I really want to get into Mike Flanagan. He is the god of horror right now. The man cannot make a bad horror movie these days. Gerald's Game is about Jesse and Gerald, who have been married for quite some time and seem to have lost the passion in their relationship, particularly in the sexual department. So they hire out a cabin in the middle of nowhere for a bit of a weekend getaway in hopes to rekindle their sex life and save their marriage. Now, I can't even talk about the movie too much without giving a lot away. Basically what happens is Gerald handcuffs Jesse to the bed, trying to get a little bit kinky and fulfill some sort of rape fantasy that he's had for quite some time. Unfortunately, things don't go according to plan, as once Gerald handcuffs Jesse to the bed, he has a heart attack and dies. He also left the front door open. So we have this rabid feral dog lurking around outside, who we were introduced to earlier in the film. He waltzes in and out of the house at his own will. So right now you're all probably thinking we have another captivity thriller on our hands, but Gerald's Game is so much more than that. It is a character study. From here on in, it becomes very psychological. Jessie sees multiple versions of herself and also multiple versions of her husband, who is deceased, by the way. So we know that something strange is going on, and we do dive deeper into the psyche of Jessie. As the film progresses, we are treated to flashbacks which are edited superbly well, and it's paced perfectly where we as the viewer can piece together what's going on and understand what Jessie is actually going through. Now, the actress that plays Jessie did an outstanding, phenomenal job. She has screen time for probably 98% of the movie. And most of that time, she's in a state of fear and panic, and she pulls it off so incredibly well. I couldn't imagine how difficult it would be to act and stay in that kind of character that entire time and make it out to be convincing and also consistent throughout the entire film. My hat is off to this woman. She did a superb job. Mike Flanagan, the director, is on fire at the moment. The man just cannot make a bad horror movie because he seems to understand what horror fans really need these days. It's not just about gore and jump scares. It's about the character and the situation. It's about the character and the way they relate and deal with that situation. The realism that ties the character to the situation is just critical these days, and Mike Flanagan nails it. Having said that, his editing skills are absolutely phenomenal, assuming that he does edit the movies. I'm sure he has a lot to do with it regardless, but the way he edits flashback to present, present to flashback, absolutely perfect. Perfection. Now, I first discovered Mike Flanagan when I saw a movie called Absentia, which was an ultra low budget, but once again, you just get sucked into the characters of the film, and even though it's low budget, the man just hits the nail on the head, and it ended up being surprisingly enjoyable for me. I didn't go into the movie thinking too much about it, but it just grabbed me. He's also directed Ouija Origins of Evil. Now, the first Ouija movie was horrendous, so I was a little bit skeptical, and it took me a while to watch this second one, but Origins of Evil actually was a great film. The man actually resurrected the Ouija series and made it something great. It went from one extreme to the other, and it's just amazing what an awesome director can do. My personal favorite is Oculus, which kind of reminds me of Gerald's Game. It's a different kind of story, different concept altogether. However, the flashbacks are there. The psychological aspect is definitely there. It's about two kids, an evil mirror, and basically reality being altered by this mirror, making you see things that aren't actually there, or it makes you question your own sanity. That is all I'll reveal about Oculus. I could talk about Oculus all day long. Maybe I'll talk about it in a future video. If you want to see me talk about Oculus and review Oculus, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to. Either way, it's fantastic to see Stephen King back. We got two awesome movies this year, and Gerald's Game is an absolute must-watch for anyone into psychological type thrillers, clever horrors with twists and turns. And oh boy, there are certainly twists in this movie you will not see coming, I guarantee you that. And I've sat here and thought about flaws to the movie, and I just cannot pick one. There is no bad acting. It is all phenomenal in this movie, particularly the actress that plays Jessie. Her father was really creepy and great. Gerald was awesome, convincing. The man at the beginning of the video that creepily stays in that corner just watching Jessie as she's handcuffed to the bed, phenomenal. So I have no choice but to rate this a perfect 13 out of 13. Gerald's Game receives Bannock 13's stamp of approval. This is a must-watch. As I keep mentioning to you lovely guys and girls, subscribing here is optional. The button's coming up. If you want to see more videos soon, subscribing will definitely help you on that journey. If not, just make sure you tune back again soon.